Hey everybody, I thought we'd do something different this week for our independent work, and that is talking a little bit about conducting. So you can get a little insight into what we do as conductors. We're going to teach you some basic patterns and how to conduct in a variety of time signatures. So the first thing I wanted to address was just in terms of the basic hand position. Imagine like you're petting a cat or a dog. You would have a kind of a relaxed, unless you're really aggressive with your animals, you would have a relaxed hand that kind of follows the natural curvature. If you were to just put your hand at your side, it would kind of have a natural curve to it. And that's kind of the general posture we want to put our hand in. We don't want to be too rigid or flat with our hands. We want them to have a little bit of a curve to them. Similar to those of you that play piano, you kind of want to have that natural curvature to your hands when you play. Same thing when we conduct. The other part of this is when you actually create the different beats that we do as conductors, you want there to be a little bit of a rebound. So there's a little bit of almost like a flick of the wrist, but it's not too aggressive. It's not like really rigid again like that, or with a big, aggressive rebound. It's just kind of like a comfortable rebound. Okay, just kind of like you'd see like a basketball bouncing on a gym floor. There's a natural kind of like the ball just kind of comes up just a little bit. And that's kind of what we want our hands to do when we're creating that basic beat. So you can just practice kind of making some really relaxed beats. We want our shoulders to be, pretty relaxed too. Nothing really wants to feel really tense, because what will happen is that'll end up making its way into the choir or the orchestra. A word about choral conducting versus orchestral conducting. Certainly, choral conductors will mainly just use their hands. I would say probably 95 to 99% of the time. Once in a while, we use batons, but most of the time that's used when we're conducting a choir and an orchestra together. Whereas orchestral conductors or band conductors will use a baton, probably that same percentage, 95 or more percent of the time. So that's one slight difference. Other than that, there's a lot of similarities between the two. Certainly with an orchestra, you have a lot more instrument families and instrument groups to conduct, whereas in choral conducting, we mainly are just thinking about sopranos, altos, tenors, and basses. Sometimes there's divisi there, but it's usually not quite as extensive. So, and the thing that obviously separates choirs from orchestras is we have text. And so there's some considerations that choral conductors will think about because of having to conduct text, and certain cutoffs with certain consonants will present certain challenges and things like that. So some of the things that a conductor is going to be responsible for, certainly just setting the tempo, how fast a song should be going. Also responsible for things like dynamics, how loud or soft we should be singing. That's all, going to be communicated through the pattern of the conductor. And obviously cueing, bringing in certain parts, and entrances, cutoffs. These are just all the things that we have to think about as conductors. It's not just about keeping a steady pulse and hoping that everything, goes right. And then the last part of this, of course, is running an effective rehearsal. That's part of the conductor's job, is to kind of be in charge of the pacing and the flow of rehearsal and kind of planning that out in such a way that kind of makes logical sense, so that the choir is going to learn their material and work on, all the different musical concepts that we have to. All right, so we're going to teach you guys some patterns right now, and we're going to start with our two pattern, which is kind of the most basic of all patterns. It's just going to be, you're going to move your hands kind of down and out, and then back up. Okay, so if I make my pattern just kind of follow here, 1, 2, 1, 2. If I was one-handing it here, 1, 2. You kind of want your beat, or the ictus, the point at which the beat actually happens, to kind of fall around the same place. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. When you normally see conductors in movies and television shows, you'll normally see them conduct with this kind of pattern. There's not a whole lot of songs that are into 2/4 time signature, that is, for choral music anyway. It's more commonly to be used in a 6/8 time signature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so that's our two pattern, the most basic of all patterns. Again, it's out, up, down and out, up. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, and our next pattern will be the 3 pattern. Okay, a song like Happy Birthday, Amazing Grace, lots of songs are in 3/4 time. And that is going to be, the first gesture is going to be straight up and down, 1, and then we go out for 2, and then up on 3. 1, 2, 3. Down, out, up. Down, out, up. Notice when I go down, it's just a straight up and down with a little bit of a rebound. Bum, bum. So it's down, out, up, down, out, up. And remember that beat is happening in the same place each time. Bum, bum, bum. One-handed dump, dump, bum. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, again, that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, and the last pattern we're going to teach you today is our 4 pattern. This is the most commonly used, of course, because most songs are in 4/4 time, and that's why it's called common time. And it's similar to 3, except of course we got one more beat. So we got to go 1, which is the first one, is just down, down, in, out, up, down, in, out, up, down, in, out, up. Again, making sure your hand's nice and relaxed, okay? But we still definitely feel that pulse, okay? Down, in, out, up, down, in, out, up. The common mistake a lot of beginning conductors make is they want to go to the side right away. But the first, when in the 3/4, in the 3 pattern and the 4 pattern, the first gesture is just down with a slight rebound. Okay, so it's down, in, out, up, down, in, out, up. All right. So there's our 2 pattern, our 3 pattern, our 4 pattern. What I'm going to want you guys to do for your assignment today is to demonstrate all 3 patterns. So you're going to conduct 2 measures of each. So the first one will say, this is my 2 pattern. 1, 2, 1, 2, just like that. Next one will be the 3 pattern. Down, out, up, down, out, up. And the next one will be a 4 pattern. 2 bars of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, keep everything really relaxed and have a nice clear pulse as far as where that rebound actually happens. Keep that rebound roughly the same place each time so that the choir knows exactly where to look to find that steady pulse, and you'll be in good shape. All right, happy conducting.